And we are back. Very many thanks for choosing to stay with us. And in case you're just joining us, welcome to Kenya's Gold, where our focus of the day is on dragon fruit farming. Now it's time for the gold conversation, and to shed more light on that and also on climate smart agriculture, we do have the pleasure of being joined by Wangari Kuria, who is a dragon fruit farmer.
Yes.
Also a farmer who's very passionate about climate smart agriculture.
Yes.
And then again, you are a global citizen prize winner. Your list of achievements is longer than my monthly list of grocery. Come on now. You're doing so well for yourself, and I'm so excited to have you with us here today.
Yes.
Now, we're going to jump right straight into the conversation because there's so much to talk about with you. Now, we do have our display of the types of dragon fruits.
Yes.
More often than not, we see this type.
Yes.
All right. But today you have brought us
The yellow.
the yellow type.
Yes.
Please tell us about this variety, because we have not seen it a lot with our farmers, and maybe why it's not very popular. And maybe you can tell us, is it something that can grow in similar climatic conditions as the red one that we're used to seeing? Shed more light on this variety.
Yes. So thank you for having me on the show. It's very exciting. It's amazing to always find someone who can match my energy.
Come on.
So the yellow dragon is a new variety that we're introducing in the market because we're trying to see how can people who have diabetes also consume dragon fruit. Dragon fruit tends to be very sweet, and we're trying to think how can people still harness these health benefits while still keeping their calories and their sugar low, and that's the solution with the yellow dragon variety.
All right. So for how long has this variety been in our market now?
We just got it this year, so I imported some seedlings, and now we've started propagation already.
All right.
Yes.
So we are having in mind the people that suffer from diabetes that need to also enjoy this very sweet fruit.
Yes.
There's a lot of need to create that awareness so that our farmers are not confused. What is this variety?
Yeah.
What are we doing to make sure that, yes, this knowledge that you have is being disseminated to our farmers so they can understand about the yellow variety?
First of all, we are making a lot of noise, and we are making use of social media because we believe that's the quickest way. I'm not competing with Citizen, but sometimes you'll find information has hit Facebook faster than it has hit the mainstream media. So social media is quite a powerful tool. Number two, farm visits. We have farmers forum coming into our farm, learning how to actually take care of the crop, carrying seedlings at home, and them starting the journey, and us guiding them on how to actually turn it into a business.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm very curious to find out, have you had maybe a testimonial from someone who suffers from diabetes, but they've been able to enjoy this yellow variety? What was the feedback like? Because I know that's what you're depending on as you come up with these varieties. What is that like so far?
For me, it's coming from a pain point that my dad has diabetes.
All right.
So definitely I wouldn't want to give him something that harms him. I want him to live for a very long time. So definitely that's my motivation. And once we started growing this crop, I would give him the yellow variety, and he was very happy about it. One, it didn't spike his sugar, and number two, he said that it was really good with bowel movements and making sure that the digestion is pleasant. Once you eat this fruit, something happens to your body, and you just feel like, ooh, baba boom.
Oh, come on. So we will be cutting it later in the show so that we get to feel that baba boom right here in studio, right? Now, when introducing you, I mean, you are doing so very well for your for yourself in the space of agriculture, being the founder of Farmer on Fire, that organization. That is a very catchy name, and I'm very curious to find out why Farmer on Fire. What does Farmer on Fire stand for?
Yes, definitely. Me looking like this is very intentional because I'm trying to push and be an activist for having farmers in the round tables, in the decision-making tables. We find even the government is making decisions about farmers, people who contribute significantly to the GDP, yet they are not in the room. They're just being told, this is what we've decided, we are going to tax you, we are going to do this. So many things are imposed on them, and they are in the implementers. When it comes to the climate space arena, farmers are the gatekeepers of our environment. Why are they not in the room? Why are they not asked? You are closest to the problem. What are the possible solutions that you can give us? And for me, I'm very intentional in raising my voice and making sure that Farmer on Fire is a brand that represents dignity, It's a brand that says farming is not for the unemployed, it's not for the peasant, it's not for people who failed in life, it's for people who are winning, who are turning agriculture into business and succeeding.
All right.
Yes.
And so far, how is that going for you?
It's going very well, I must say. I'm loving.
All right. Now, continuing with our conversation on dragon fruit, today we were harvesting, right? And we want to understand, what do I need to look out for so that I make sure that which I'm harvesting is ready to be harvested. Now, you have introduced the yellow variety for us. I need you to take us through what you will see, what you'll need to check to make sure it's ready for harvesting before we move to the red one.
Yeah, you bring out a very important issue where we find in the market people are complaining, but these dragon fruits, you guys say they'll be sweet, they are not sweet. I bought one on, at the bus station and it wasn't as sweet. It's because people are picking them too early. So ensure that your fruit is ripe. It might compromise on the shelf life. Mostly people pick fruits earlier so that maybe they can be shipped out of the country or they can stay for longer in the shelves. But if you pick a fruit early, the sugar content goes down, and that could be the reason. Another reason could be the seedlings that you got are not the right seedlings. If you are used to buying seedlings at the roadside, you will have that challenge. So we are saying buy seedlings, dragon fruit seedlings from known propagators who are taking care of them, when you can go back to them and ask them the questions.
Being quite a new fruit in the market, do we have enough propagators, or do we have a situation where sometimes we do not have enough seedlings for the farmers?
That's the thing. Even the farmer who you were interviewing was saying the same concept. This fruit is around 800 shillings. We want it to go to 200, 300 bob. So we need more propagators. Professional Kefis is doing a great job in certifying farmers. We want people to, at least you should have an avocado in your compound, no matter how small. Dragon fruit is an amazing fruit because you can grow it in a container. It doesn't have an elaborate root system. So you have no excuse. You can grow it in your balcony. You just put it in a bucket. The most important thing is that you support the arms. The stem and the arms, those are the most tricky part. But the root system is very shallow because it's a desert plant.
All right.
Yes.
Now, you brought up something very interesting, because we have the people that want to export.
Yes.
When is the right time for them to harvest? Because sometimes, let's say avocados, even mangoes, when we want to export, we are going to harvest them before zive kabisa. They are mature, yes, but hazijaiva, and they're good for exporting. Then now we have the dragon fruit, where we are being told you need to harvest it when it is ripe. So what happens to that person who's
you want to throw me in hot
No, it's not throwing you in hot soup. I just want you to guide us so I know, for me who's exporting, then when is the right time for me to harvest?
It is a controversial area where you find a lot of middlemen are picking fruits before they are mature. So it's about knowing when they are ready, when they are mature, and which will go into details with that. And then remember that the idea of shipping the fruit outside the country is already a refrigerated process. It's going to be cooled under certain temperatures so that the process of maturing or going bad is paused. So you don't need to worry as a middleman that these avocados, these dragon fruits, we ripen in the ship. No, that's not a concern. The process is taken care of in terms of temperatures. So make sure that you're representing Kenya well. It is very embarrassing when you go to China and other countries as I visit, and you find, avocados that are looking so horrid on the shelves, and they're written Kenyan avocados. You just hide your brand. So we need to bring in integrity and represent our country in a positive light.
All right. And when I harvest my dragon fruit at the right time, when it's ripe, how long is its shelf life?
Can go up to a month when it's refrigerated. If it's not, around 14 days. It's still good. Great.
A fantastic conversation that we are having right here in studio with Wangari. Now, we did ask you to send in some of your feedback, and I would like for us to look at what some of you are saying on social media. We have one from Bonaneri_KE. How much capital do I need to start a dragon fruit business? Is there a market for the dragon fruit? Interesting question. Moving to the next. We have another one from Safesto. I need seedlings? I believe Wangari has answered where we can get seedlings. And finally, we do have one from Maggie who says, my dragon plants are over 2 years and they have not flowered. What could be the problem? Please advise. Yeah. We do have the farmer on fire right here in studio. When we come back from this short commercial break, she will be able to answer those questions that she asked in our feedback space, and also she'll be talking to us about the space of women in agriculture. All that and a lot more will be forming our conversation, so please don't go anywhere.